Hi Stampers, happy Friday. I hope you are all doing well. Just bringing this up on my iPad so I can see you. Okay. So I have a cute card today that uses a couple stamp sets in general and some other things, and I'm going to show you real quick what I did use. I used the subtle embossing folder. I'm going to show you these so I can kind of get them out of the way. I am using the smooth sailing dies. So I'm using this label one here and one that cuts out a sailboat and the ship's wheel. From the Sailing Home stamp set, I'm using the big sailboat and the seagulls. From the Adorable Fable Friends, I'm using that cute little squirrel. This is a celebration set, which you can get for free with if you have a $50 order. Things are selling out, so if there's something, hi Donna, if there's something you've been eyeballing, you might want to make sure you get it before it's gone. And this ends on the at the end of this month altogether anyway. So from this set, I'm just using that little 2U, and then I'm using the layering circles. From this set, I'm just using this biggest circle right here. So those are the things. And now here I have my card base. Let me get that out of the way. That I have made from Night of Navy. And it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to give that a burnish with my bone folder here. Just making sure, looking over to make sure that I had that in view. Okay, and then I've got a piece of crumb cake here that I'm using for the greeting. I've got some Whisper White, and then I have this piece of Bermuda Bay, and this is what I ran through that subtle embossing folder to give it that texture. Okay, so one of these pieces here, I think these are both the same size. So these are both 4 by 5 1/4. And I've got one for the inside here. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick that in there, and then it will be out of the way. I had been perusing Pinterest and got some inspiration there. I didn't see this card that I'm making, but it just gave me ideas. Oops, I wonder what that... There's some kind of little spot there in the cardstock. Can you see that? It's just a flaw that's in the cardstock. So maybe I will not... I've already put adhesive on that. I think I just won't put the piece on the inside for right now because I'd rather not have that in there. And I can do that later. Hi, Kathy. So yeah, another card I saw kind of gave me inspiration for this one today. So let me just get started here. This is going to be a layered card with a peekaboo window in it. And I need to kind of create a water scene here. Where's my little square piece? That's what I'm going to do with this. So I'm going to use Night of Navy to start with. And I'm just going to kind of lightly go over here until I build it up to what I want. If you guys are into making gnomes at all, and I'm not really talking about cards or paper crafting, but actual gnomes, stuffed or whatever, decorative. There's a Facebook page called Let's Make Gnomes? I think it's Let's Make Gnomes. There are the cutest gnomes on there. Oh my word. You'll have to check it out. Okay, so that is that. Hopefully I didn't get too carried away with it there. I got busy talking and laying that ink down, and I think I went a little overboard. Okay, so now I'm coming in with Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to blend right into that Night of Navy. And I think that's all I'm going to do with that. Hi, Seal. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for joining me, you guys. And then I'm going to come in with a little balmy blue for up in the sky here. So I'm going to turn this and come from the top down because I wanted the darker part of the sky kind of around like this. And I don't want it just a smooth, solid color because, you know, it needs to have a little bit of whispery cloud-like in there. And I kind of like that little bit of a break of white, kind of where the sky meets the water on the horizon line there. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to set that aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sailboat here. So I'm using the bigger sailboat in this set. Helicopter going over. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't think it's the Coast Guard. They go usually morning and evening. They do their sweep of the coastline. Oops, I didn't take when you're using red rubber and the Stamparatus, you take out the foam cushion and you only use that for the clear stamps. So let me see if I... Okay, there we go. And I'm going to ink that up with Memento Black. And I inked my pad up last night, so it should be juicy and ready to go. Yep, that looks pretty good. I think 1 time's going to do it there. Makes a big difference when you have your ink pad juicy. Okay. I hope that ink won't be too distracting there. All right, so now I'm gonna color. So I've got the light and dark of Crumb Cake here. And I'm just gonna color the actual boat part. I'm not gonna get any too fancy, but I just wanted that to be like a kind of like a wooden sailboat. And I'm gonna put in the darker color where the shading is already on there. Maybe a little along here. And then I'll just blend that a bit with the lighter color again. And then I'm going to make the sail yellow. There's a yachting club here. Let's see, this is the dark. Yeah, I'll start with the dark. There's a yachting club here in Newport, and the sailboats, I think it's on Wednesdays. They get in the bay here, and so in the summertime it's really fun to see them out there and the different colors of sails and everything. I got a little outside of the line there. So I'm going to use my color lifter and see if I can just push that color back away. There we go. Hi, Karen. And then I'm going to come in with the lighter. What color did I say? Didn't I? I don't think I did say. Daffodil Delight is what this yellow duo is. And I'm going to be using yellow here when I color that little squirrel, because he's holding a flower that looks kind of like a yellow daisy to me. So I thought having the yellow sails here would blend that all together. Okay, now I'm going to bring the die out and cut that out real quick. I know I've said it before, but I'm really needing to get my dies put on some magnetic sheets here. So there's the die for that. And while I'm at it, I will go ahead and do the greeting. So let me just get that to you stamp out here. And that is right there in the Happy Birthday to You set. I'm just going to stick it in the middle. And then I can run both of these through the machine at the same time. Save a step. There we go. I'm going to clean that up and get it put back in the case so I don't lose it, since it's such a tiny little stamp. And then I'm just grabbing a piece of sticky note tape here to hold that in place so it doesn't scooch around while I'm cutting it. And let me grab another for the boat. So you just want to line these up so you don't really see a white edge around, and then it should be just where you want it. Okay, let me get these cut. And there's my little banner. Isn't that so cute? What I like about this is, look, it actually is cut, well, I guess it didn't quite cut all the way through there. It's cut right along the edges of that, so you can get your, I'm going to go around and ink that up. You can get around that part too, if you like to ink up around the edges. And this cuts part of that out around the sail there. I'm just going to poke that paper out. There we go. Okay. So now that that's done, I am going to come in here with a little bit of light pool party, because I'm going to have this up against that sky that I created. And I don't want all that white just jumping out. So I'm just going to come in with pool party to just give it a little bit of kind of that sky color, so that the white won't be jumping out, because I really don't want to go in with an X-Acto knife and try to cut around all those lines and things to cut away that white. It would be nearly impossible anyway. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to color that water area with a little bit of the light Night of Navy. And then that part won't be jumping out. I could have used the dark, but I think it would be a little too dark. There we go. Oops. So now I've got some soft suede, and I am just going to ink up around the edges of this banner. And I can bend that back and get in there. Plus, if you want to, with being able to bend that back, you can actually bend it back and mess with it to make it more 3D when you put it on your card if you want. I think that's kind of cool. It has those stitch marks. It's just a very cute banner die. Okay, good enough, I think. There we go. So I can go ahead and put this layer on. There we go. And then this is going to come in here. And what I need to do is bring in the die. Because I still need to stamp my birds. Let me get those out so I don't forget. All right, birdies. And I'm going to stamp these seagulls up with some black memento as well. There we go. So now what I want to do is I'm going to cut this piece of Bermuda Bay. Try to get it centered on there where I want it. So I'm going to go right there with that. And you don't want to throw that circle away because you know you'll find a use for that. So now I have two of them because I've got one from my sample that I made. All right. Now this piece I'm going to attach with some foam tape. You could use your dimensionals, but I'm just going to use foam tape since that hole is cut out. I think it will make it a little bit more sturdy than using up a whole bunch of dimensionals. I don't want it to show there. I'll turn it around and make sure that it doesn't. Can probably even just squish it a little bit. Oh, I know what I did. I cut a bigger, I thought I didn't have that trouble on the first one, but I see what I did. I cut a bigger circle than I did on the first one. I used the next smaller one. Well, I guess we'll just go with this and see how it turns out, and you'll see the difference between the first one that I made with the smaller peekaboo, and then this one with the bigger. I know why I did that, because I was thinking when I made my sample that I would be using the biggest one, and then I ended up going with the next size down. Okay, so now let me just pull this off for right now and see. Probably I can do it like this and get it on there. And then I'll put a little adhesive on the back of this. Okay, there we go. And now I need that sailboat to come in. And as you know, I like to glue things down at the bottom and pop them up at the top. Where's my dimensionals? Come out wherever you are. I'm going to put a little tombow down at the bottom here, so it's anchored down on the water and not floating on the water, not floating out of the water. Hopefully it's floating on top of the water, because otherwise that wouldn't be good, would it? Okay. So we're just going to put it there like that. And then I've already cut out the little ship's wheel, and I cut it out of soft suede. And I'm just going to bring that finger dauber back in. I think it's probably still got some soft suede on it from when I inked up that banner. And I'm going to just put a little color on there. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little tombow on the back of that. And I'm just going to put it around part of it, because the other part's going to be sticking up into that picture where the boat is. So I'm going to put that right there. And then remember I showed you I'm going to use the little squirrel. I went ahead and pre-colored and cut him out, because I didn't want, you saw me color the boat. I didn't think you need to watch me color the squirrel, but I did color him up with bronze and ivory were the colors on his fur. And then I gave him some little pink cheeks there and a little bit of pink inside of his ear. And then I used the light and dark Daffodil Delight to color the flower. And I colored his little sailor outfit. I just thought he was perfect to put with this sailboat and stuff. So let me get him on here. So cute. You guys know I like critters. I likes me some critters. Okay. And I'm going to put a little tombow down here on his feet. just going to hold that for a second here. And let me put a couple of dimensionals on this. So I don't know what else you call a card like that that's got a hole cut out. I'm just calling it a peekaboo. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to put this right up here. And there's the card. And here it is with the smaller cutout. And not as much color. As you can see, I put way more color on the one today because I was talking and got carried away. This one has less color. Same card, just a little different. I like them both. I don't mind the extra color, the more intense color there. But it's a cute card, I think. Now I need to go back and add a white sheet in there. And I like popping that top layer up like that. Definitely gives the card a little, you know, it doesn't feel flimsy. I like it. So this could be, I think this is a good guy card, but I mean the squirrel's holding a flower, so it would be cute for a girl too. And with putting to you on there, you know, you can make the greeting inside whatever depending on the occasion. So it could be this, with it saying to you, could be a get well card. It could be I'm thinking of you. It could definitely be a happy birthday. So it could be whatever occasion really that you want. So yeah, there you have it. If there's any of these supplies that you would like or other supplies, that's where you can find them if you don't already have a demonstrator. I'd love to have you shop with me. And I hope you guys have a great weekend and stay away from the nasties. I have been battling a little bit of a drippy nose, and I've got some little tiny white spots on one side of my throat back there, so I'm kind of a nervous wreck about it. But, you know, it is what it is. So, hoping it's nothing. And trying to keep my mind occupied otherwise. So anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday for another Friday Fun Day. Take care. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.